All right, Bitcoin on the hourly chart to start off with, then we'll zoom out to the bigger picture on the daily and look at some patterns that are maybe changing and evolving, and see where we go from here. So starting off on the hourly, some volatility from the recent news, right? Going over to Forex Factory. If you haven't done that, do that. It's free. Forex Factory, see in the top left there. Go on the calendar, keeps track of all your monetary events throughout the world. So this morning, 8:30. The core PCE price index, right, coming in a little bit less than expected, but right behind that, the news on unemployment claims coming a little bit better than expected. So that's why you're seeing kind of the volatility to the up and the downside, right? That's this guy right here. That happened at 8:30, and you can see both upside and downside. So you often see that on days that are happening. So if you see Bitcoin price or the crypto chart prices going absolute bonkers batshit, there's probably something like that in the news. So do yourself a favor and add that to your favorites tab. So having said that, what are we doing? Well, look at the hourly chart. For the past couple days here, going back to the 28th or so, we're kind of trying to stair step, right? We're trying to build our way up, right? Bulls climb up the stairs, bears jump out the window. Everyone knows that by now. If you don't, you're deaf. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that, but the hourly chart, right? We're trying to continue this this motion. So when we start to invalidate that is when we start to come back below these support levels. We should not, in theory, if you're climbing upstairs, you don't go below the other stair to go up, right? So that's kind of where I'd be looking for 16.9. If we start to crush below that, even this level, maybe you can give it, but 16.9 is kind of the level to really continue this stair step. So let's go ahead and zoom out and then look at kind of the patterns that I'm talking about. Look at the Bollinger Bands on the daily chart, really squeezing here. So less volatility leads to an explosive move in volatility, usually in the not so distant future. So last time we had that, we had a little squeeze back here, back in late October, about a month ago. And then we kind of started, moving up, and then kind of a fake out up, right? And then the FTX and news ensued, right? So now we've been down here since. And then looking at this, right, you might have seen over the past several days, looking at kind of the descending triangle kind of pattern, which has the odds to break this way, but we didn't do that, did we? And if you remember, back when this initially happened, around mid-November, we were looking at maybe symmetrical triangle patterns, right? And those just tend to lead in the direction that you came from. So continuation pattern should have done there, but that got invalidated as well, didn't it? So patterns, when you're, most uncertain times can really start to morph and change. So you need to be aware that just because you see a pattern and it gets invalidated doesn't mean another pattern isn't forming. So let's continue to look, right? So we had that, and then the symmetrical triangle failed, and then we're like, well, maybe we're in a some kind of a longer descending triangle, and that will often break down as well. And now you get random pop-ups. Now we've seemed to be invalidating that. So now we've gone from symmetrical triangle to descending triangle. So fail so far. And now we seem to be breaking out. So all you have are the odds in crypto in any chart, right? You're just trying to put the odds in your favor. That's all TA is useful for, is trying to stack the odds as much in your favor as possible. So attempting to stay on top of chart changes is kind of what TA is all about. So that's what we're looking at. So far, so good on the invalidation of the descending triangle. Now, if we start to creep back down here, I would say under 16.8, because that's really your candle that we were looking for a breakout. That was kind of that high, right? The initial high off of this bounce right here. Once you break that, then you're very likely invalidating whatever pattern you're looking at. Right? If you take out the high, descending triangle should be consistently putting in lower highs, and we invalidated it right there. So a long trigger goes there. And so far, until we break back below that, right, 16.9, 16.8, remember 16.9 on the hourly chart, that's where you should start to get a little bit cautious. But 16.8 especially, we should absolutely not be breaking back below that. If we do, then, this could be a fake out again, right? We've been there, done that as well. Many fake outs throughout Bitcoin's history, especially lately, right? So watching that, maybe we get a continuation move and another strong bounce. We could easily get another 4 or 5% bounce out of Bitcoin. If we did that from this level, I mean, another 5%. I mean, look at what the kind of prices we're getting at right now. We're getting up to 18K, right? And then we got bigger issues to worry about, because that is a kind of, we're really approaching this massive kind of level from that we held for 30 days plus, right? And then we might have continued to hold, barring FTX was actually a good company. But, since we broke it, here we are. Are we going to get back above it, right? Maybe. But this is, make no mistake, this will be massive resistance. If Bitcoin gets above this, that will be a huge statement, and the bulls are putting on their battle suits, right? So that's the level. If we can flip that as support, then we have a bigger case to be made. But until then, remain a little bit more cautiously optimistic. Even if you're buying at these levels, I think you'll be rewarded, in the distant future. But buying at these times, anything but Bitcoin is more dangerous, right? But accumulating Bitcoin down at these times, if you have a long-term projection, is probably going to be handsomely rewarded. So that's what I'm looking for today. We'd like to hold really over the next week. I would like to see a bounce here, right? And then tomorrow or today, right? Just continuation, right? We'd like to see a move up, and there's some strong momentum going into this. You're going to need massive momentum going into massive resistance zones. Otherwise, probably going to get rejected. So let's maintain our momentum, and we maintain those levels 16.9, 16.8, right in that area. That's what I'm looking for the next couple days, and continue this stair step. If we start to break down, then to watch out, because we could have some more downside, which would not be that surprising, right? So the weekly, right, you can see that level even clearer on the weekly, right, going all the way back to June. Really the 18.5. Until we can get above that, you should probably be remaining a little bit more bearish than bullish. But we've bottomed out here on the lower Bollinger Bands. Doesn't mean you can't go lower, but maybe we have at least a test up to the 8-week moving average, which we've done multiple times. Pretty much every time we've hit the lower Bollinger Bands, we go up and we at least hit the 8. So the EMA 8 as of now is just shy of 18K, 17,920. See on the top left there. So that's maybe we have a rally up to 17.9. Would kind of be go in line with that resistance zone 2 around 18K, and we'll see how we interact from there. So everything will always look like it's going to continue until it doesn't, right? Everyone will be in disbelief when the actual corner is turned. When the bull markets are born in the darkest times, when everyone's the most pessimistic, that's when the end is, or maybe already in, right? It can take 6 months, 12 months for the majority of people to actually see it. At least several weeks, right? How many people were thinking we were in a bear market, myself included, mid-November, right? Or December even, right? A year ago today, right? Not a lot of people thought so, right? Okay, so just keep that in mind, right? This could be the start. We could have 6 more months, right? Nobody knows, but just keep an open mind. That's the best thing you can do. Don't be too deterministic in anything that you think, say, or do. That goes for everything in life. So we're still at 17K. Let's hope maybe next time we talk, we're at 18K or higher. Or if you're a bear, maybe you hope we're at 0. Maybe you want us to go to 0. We'll see. All right, I'll leave it there. I'll wrap it up with the rambling, and let me know if you have any questions. Leave me a comment below. If you feel like it, like, subscribe, whatever the hell you want. I'll see you on the next one.